You know, it just occurred to me that I never actually did a first impressions or review of this game. Unfortunately, we've kind of missed our window on that, but that doesn't mean there isn't stuff worth talking about in this game. So on that note, I'm going to do a quick review for the people I know are watching this and haven't bought the game yet, since apparently a lot of people are still buying it, answer some questions, talk about the new stuff, and then get to what the video title actually says it's about. Alright, here we go. It's a mainline 3D Kirby game. How's the transition from 2D to 3D? One of the smoothest since Mario. Granted, he mostly jumps, sucks, and floats his way to victory, so it's kinda hard to screw that up. How's the story? Big scary thing shows up and threatens Dreamland, so Kirby whoops some ass, with a horror show during the ending. How are the bosses? On the easier side, but fine. How's the music? About the same as always. Also, I love this franchise. Okay, new stuff time. Besides the 3D aspect, there are two main new mechanics to talk about. One of them is the Waddle Dee Town. I love everything about this. It's a great way of adding collectibles and urgency to the player, and rewarding progression, and is super charming and adorable, and finally gives us an in-game reason to stop beating on them even though they should have been our allies for like the past decade. The closest thing to negatives this town has is that not everyone has dialogue, and it's kind of a glorified main menu with extra steps, but also it's a million times more fun than the main menu, so yeah, no, this place is great. The second new thing is the ability to upgrade power-ups. You trade in coins you collect and items from ability challenges, and suddenly you can become a dragon, or a Dark Souls character, or a Category 5 tornado. Yeah, all the game's new features are fantastic. This game is fantastic. If only they went further with it. Yeah, this game's biggest issue is literally that there's too little of it. And yeah, I know, it's the first game with this new style, so there's probably gonna be DLC expansions like in Star Allies, or a whole new game like this, but consider this my suggestion letter to Nintendo, because there being too little in this game goes way further than you might think. For example, counting only the standard levels in this game, there's about 30 of them. Adding in the bosses and the cups, you could add it up to 40, roughly. This is within the average number of levels of Kirby games, still a bit on the lower side, but it is higher than all the main 3D Mario games, so that's not too bad. What's the problem? Let's go! That is the problem. These games have so much more going on in their levels with a separate mission structure. Even the smaller 3D Mario games have more content than Forgotten Land. Oh sure, they're shorter levels, but when you have 500 of them, what does it matter? The one advantage this game has over the other games, and Kirby games in general lengthwise, is that the levels are longer. Except that ends up sucking ass when you have to go through the entire level every time you miss a random Waddle Dee requirement. Even if you speed run it, that's a good 5 minutes running through a level just to find a random secret room or knock over some posters. At that point, why not go for the bigger levels with multiple missions route? Have speedrunning versions of the levels or versions where you can't get hit. How about parts of the level that are just one big platforming puzzle, especially now that Kirby has a limit on how much he could jump? Or if you're feeling more traditional, why not take something from the older games? Versions of the level where you have to play as Meta Knight, Dedede, or Bandana Waddle Dee only. Hell, why not go crazy and bring back the other recurring dream friends? Magolor is canonically on good terms with Kirby and has a thing for theme parks. The game literally has a theme park right there. Why not make a mode where you race them through the theme park? Or how about a shooting contest with Susie? Have it if you win all of them, they become playable characters. Or if you don't want them to be playable, why not have them just bum around in the town? Like, why not have Magolor and Taranza work at a shop run by Susie? Have the Dreamland crew bum around the pond. Have the three Mage Sisters show up with vacation hats eating from a restaurant owned by Chef Kawasaki. If you're wondering why I'm so insistent that reps from the older games show up, it's cause we're quickly approaching the halfway point of the year, and the only thing we have to show for Kirby's 30th besides this game are plushies! This series sells good, Nintendo, so give me either this, or this, or this, but give me something. But hey, you know, we're only about a month away from not E3, so maybe this will age poorly. Please let it age poorly. While I'm on my rant, by the way, give us more copy abilities. Are you telling me that Planet Robobot could have 20 plus abilities on top of an ability gaining Gundam, but we can only have 12 copy abilities because you could be a car? You guys left out a lot of fan favorites too. Water Balloon doesn't replace water unless I can use it in boss fights and make pretty rainbows with it. On top of that, how are you gonna have 12 copy abilities in this game and have one of them be sleep? In a game where you could already sleep. Cheap ass Nintendo. You know what? You only get an 8.5. What? I'm not giving this game a bad score. I love this game. Also, this game gives Kirby a gun and you can do this. Put more stuff in the game.